What's up, everybody? Look, my mic is working. I'm not having technical issues like a boomer today, it would seem, but it may be too early to tell. Something could always go wrong. Guys, Bitcoin is still looking great, went over 56,000, is retraced a tiny bit. We're going to take a look at the charts as well as all the news and why Bitcoin is better than gold, and investors from institutions seem to agree, as well as politicians. Guys, everyone is buying Bitcoin, and you should be too. Let's talk about it.
Let's go.
What is up, everybody? I'm Scott Melker, also known as the Wolf of All Streets. Before we get started, please subscribe to the channel and use your fourth fingers together in an upward motion to hit the like button. Fourth finger. I'm not flicking you guys off. That's the fourth finger. Welcome, Wolfpack. Go ahead, subscribe, like the channel. I'm loving this new Wolfpack vibe. Although maybe we should be the Bull Pack, because that's what crypto is right now. It is the Bull Pack. We have a lot of news right now to review and a lot that's going on in the markets. Not too much of it is negative unless you consider recycled FUD to be a negative thing. But let's go ahead and dig right in with no delay. Here we go, people. Yep, we got everything going here. Nathan says he can't do that with his fourth finger. Why not? You got to get a ring. Ooh, I'm not wearing my ring. I'm sorry, Emmy. I took it off to play golf. I always wear a ring. I want you guys to know that. I did not mean to show a fourth finger without a ring. Ooh, always wear the ring. Bitcoin price hits 56K as bulls return and talk focuses on Bitcoin ETF approval. A day of consolidation ends in fresh bullishness for Bitcoin price action, which continues to close in on final resistance below all-time highs. We talked about this yesterday, guys. Everything keeps going up. I believe in 30 minutes-ish would be the futures close, the options expiration that we talked about yesterday, where bears are going to be completely wrecked. Well, spoiler, bears are completely wrecked. If it had closed above 56K, I guess still possible in the next 30 minutes, that would have literally left every single put out of the money and at a loss. But it's like 90% of them with a close above 54,000. Bears who are trading futures, institutional bears on this round, absolutely wrecked, back in hibernation. Maybe just dead. I don't know. They got wrecked this time around, but they tend to get their revenge at some point. So let's not dunk on them too hard. That stuff tends to come back around. So as you can see here, this is the chart that they're showing on the hourly. We'll dig into that chart as well. And as it says, Bitcoin's price beats Wednesday's high, made a slightly higher high right now. That could give a little bit of a bearish SFP, but very locally, not something particularly to worry about. Now, what's interesting here is that it seems that the talk of the town now is a Bitcoin futures ETF, right? We know that Gary Gensler has said he believes that a Bitcoin futures ETF would be easier to approve than a Bitcoin physical ETF. It's kind of nonsense as to why, but that doesn't matter. Now, there are a lot of traders who sort of view the approval of an ETF as not the most bullish thing possible. Like, obviously, when CME futures launched in December of 2017, that was the literal dead top of the Bitcoin market. I think Bitcoin futures ETF would be very bullish, but some people are saying that institutions really wouldn't approach it in the same way they did a physical, and that there could be contango bleed. As my friend Alex Kruger is saying here, futures are usually in strong contango, meaning futures are trading higher than spot. So at rollover, the ETF would sell low to buy high and suffer contango bleed. Assets with strong contango bleed trend lower. So basically, then in the short term, the structure of the ETF versus the spot market could put some downward selling pressure. I don't necessarily think that's going to happen, but always interesting to look at both perspectives and to know that we don't even know yet if this ETF is going to be approved. But clearly, the market in general believes that an ETF approval would be bullish and would cause price to go up. And that's why everybody is seemingly buying at the moment, especially institutions. As you can see here, institutions buying Bitcoin rather than gold as inflation cranks up. That's from JP Morgan. JP Morgan, not notoriously or historically fans of Bitcoin and crypto. In fact, Jamie Dimon, their CEO, has been known to say that he would fire anyone who even touched crypto. That it's garbage, that it's trash. He hates it. He hates it. He hates it. So this is coming from JP Morgan. And here you go. Bitcoin has led a 35% rally this week by soaring far above the 50K resistance level and restoring a 1 trillion market cap, making it bigger than Facebook, guys. Institutional investors appear to be returning to Bitcoin, perhaps seeing it as a better inflation hedge than gold. Why would they see it as a better inflation hedge than gold? I don't know, because it is. Because it is. Because it is. Listen, I like gold. It has thousands of years of history as a store of value, but like every empire, great things eventually fall and come to an end. Why would you buy physical gold and deal with having to custody it and store it and bury it in your backyard or whatever else old people do with their shiny rocks when you can just buy Bitcoin, memorize your private keys, and know that you can use it and keep it anytime? Also, it's divisible. Imagine going into imagine the world melts down and goes like full Mad Max, and you're like, oh, I'm going to go over to the 7-Eleven, buy me a big gulp, because that's how we buy big gulps at 7-Eleven with gold. Imagine trying to do that with physical gold. Imagine trying to do that with physical gold, right? Yeah, you're like, I'm going to slice it off with my gold cheese grater, and I'm going to pay you for that big gulp that's going to give me the diabetes. I'm big and I'm fat and American. I got diabetes. That's what Americans who have gold would be doing. They would be having their diabetes with their big gulps and slushies and Slurpees. But guys, yeah, we all know that Bitcoin's better than gold, but it's interesting to see that institutions and such also are starting to view it that way. Here's Michael Saylor, Epic Giga Chad, Mega Bull. The implicit endorsement of Bitcoin by major banks and regulators is going to accelerate the collapse of gold. Ooh, that hurts. And the rise of Bitcoin as the preferred safe haven store of value for both institutional and retail investors. If we saw a world where I would be watching Michael Saylor retweeting a bullish report about Bitcoin versus gold from JP Morgan, no, I didn't think that was going to happen. Did not think that was going to happen. Diabetes. I'm going to go down to that there 7-Eleven, going to get me a sandwich and a Slurpee. Pay it with my silver coins. Oh, guys, let's dig into the Bitcoin chart. Seeing a little retracement here, 54,381 at the moment after topping out there at, I'm talking like an auctioneer for some reason. After topping out there at $56,119. I'm going twice. You can see we have this major resistance up here, and that's it. That is it, right? This zone on the weekly, if you're talking about the weekly, from 56,580 up to 59,560, that's a supply zone before that major May dump. There's a lot of liquidity here, a lot of sellers left over, right? They majorly dumped out of that area. Above that, I mean, the highest weekly close ever for Bitcoin was 60,006, right? We're very close to that from a percentage basis. We want to see the week close above both these lines, ideally. Not a big deal if it doesn't, but certainly would love to see a confirmed breakout and continued push. You can see that volume already on Friday is higher than last week, which was a very bullish engulfing candle. So it'd be great to see this push up, even especially if it could get higher than either of these dumpy candles right there. But everything's looking good here on the weekly. Daily has the lower supply zone that I've been talking about. Look at that red area. We talked about it yesterday, how it was rejected there. Well, look, pushed a little bit harder and got rejected there again. Going to take some serious volume and a serious major push going right above that. Right, flipping that and going above. But everything's still here looking pretty good. We almost got the retracement to that area, 52,956. Looks like it landed about, I don't know, $300 above. Not even $300 above. That's what we talk about. Often you get front run on those bids. But that was the move kind of we're looking for. Could still come down lower, but the move we're looking for was this drop, kind of retest of that area and a pushback. So it'll be interesting to see what happens there. This is the 4-hour chart. You can see that line, right? That's exactly it. Now, what's interesting, you kind of had this little bull flag here, breakout, but now you do have a higher high, but it wicked through. It's kind of a little local bearish SFP. Usually in SFP, you're looking for a move like this, right? A huge retrace and come back to test that area of liquidity. So this doesn't really count in my mind, but let's even drill in further. Interestingly, I sent the newsletter out this morning, and when I sent out the newsletter, this right here was higher. Right? It was in the 55s, and it looked like we were going to end up getting a potential bearish divergence. We didn't as of now. We did not. Just real quick, Simba's telling you to push that like button. Just do it. Push it. That's the simple way to do it. I never really think about, hey, just go ahead and push that button. Just do it. Just push it, guys. But look, so I ended up making a lower high on both, right? If you zoom in, you can see that this did not go higher, right? So you could even zoom in a little further and see that it's slightly above, which means no bearish divergence. And honestly, if we go any lower, even here, right here, we have a higher low on price and a lower low on RSI. That would be the case with anything above 51,356 will give us hidden bullish divergence. So this is pretty encouraging, right? Because we had this major push. a bigger push, higher RSI, managed to avoid a bear div, and now could get an even bigger push. Eventually, you will get bearish divergence. It's going to happen when price goes this high. But you just look for those hidden bull divs after. And here on the hourly, right? This is what the hourly looks like. Yeah, we're seeing a pretty good retrace here. But let's take a look at this, right? Because what does this look like? We have a move up. Had this sort of bull flag right here, sure. But now we have a bit of a cup and handle, right? Right? There's your rounding out. And then I drew the idea. This would be a cup and handle, right? You look for something like this. That was kind of ugly. And then you also need steam because you don't want your coffee to be cold or your tea. But what's interesting here is you look for about a 50% drop from the top of the cup to the bottom. This actually just wicked down to 38.2, but looks like right now it's right at about 50%. You don't want to go much deeper. Some people would even measure it from here because that's, you want these to be about even. This one did go a little higher, but the idea there is the same. So it's retraced a little bit farther than you would like, but retracing back to there pretty good, right? That 38.2. So we could see continued bullishness on that if we head up now and sort of form this bull flag and continue up. So that's the idea as I'm looking at on Bitcoin. Nothing looking particularly bad. Yes, very overbought. It did hit overbought on the daily. Would expect some consolidation, but the honey badger going to do what the honey badger going to do. Bitcoin is a honey badger, for those of you who don't know. Just realized I can make this bigger. Watch this. Whoa, a bit bigger. Is that worse? I kind of made it bigger. And guys, I proposed this on Twitter this morning. Somebody needs to make a meme of this for me. I don't know whose face goes on what, but like take an old episode of Wheel of Fortune. We're going to call the game show Wheel of Fudging, right? And we're going to get a big wheel. And on the wheel, it's going to be like, instead of like $800, $2,000, skip turn, whatever, it's going to be like China, India, electricity, energy, ransomware, drug dealers, only for criminals. And of course, finally, we're going to have one that says they're going to have like 7 of them. They're going to be, hey, Tether. And Tether is going to be like the most common thing. And then we're just going to have people spin the wheel, maybe like a media personality. Maybe we get Peter Schiff, like whoever's spinning the wheel, it's got like the fixed Peter Schiff head, right? And we spin the wheel, and whatever it lands on, the media decides that's the reason that we should hate Bitcoin today. Wheel of Fudging. Wheel of Fudging. And well, it seems that we've spun the wheel and landed right on Tether. Bloomberg going in hard on Tether. Going in hard. Anyone seen Tether's billions? Well, I've been looking, guys, but I thought maybe they landed in my wallet, but they didn't. I mean, talk about dramatic title. A wild search for the US dollar supposedly backing the stablecoin at the center of the global cryptocurrency trade and in the crosshairs of US regulators and prosecutors by Zach Foe, because he's a faux journalist. It's actually a perfect name. Zach Foe. Actually sounds like one of the guys from Fu Schnickens. Chip Fu, Pak Fu, Shaq Fu, Zach Fu. You guys probably don't know about Fu Schnickens. But guys, doing this again. Tether literally has released their audit. Tether has released their audit multiple times of where their money is. They've already said they don't have Chinese commercial paper backing. They're not exposed to Evergrande. But they're still pounding this over and over and over. Listen, if Tether is lying and their disclosures that were audited are wrong and there's actually Evergrande paper, that could be problematic. But they've been pretty emphatic about that not being the case. And we've seen this story over. And Zeke. Someone just put it out. Zeke Fu. Sorry, D Biggie. Oh, I'm probably pronouncing your name wrong now. You're going to be like, it's Biget. I'm French. All right. Sorry, D Biget. I can't read. Zeke Fo. Not Zach Fo. Not Zach Fu. Zeke Fu. Oh, Plus Follow also wrote this. Plus Follow. You might not know him, but Plus Follow is a great rapper. Yeah, guys, it's the same recycled FUD. It will be interesting to see how this plays out, but they've done this audit over and over again. So I don't understand why this story keeps coming back around. Let's talk. There you go. And now part of that story, Tether has loaned $1 billion to Celsius Network report. They've admitted that. That wasn't a problem. I believe Celsius said they're paying 5 to 6% to Tether for those loans. And Tether was an early investor in Celsius. I don't see really what the big deal here is. But yes, we obviously know that Tether is not one-for-one backed by dollars in a bank, which leads us to the next sort of story right here. Pro-crypto Senator Lummis discloses Bitcoin purchase worth up to 100K. Okay, so I talked to her yesterday. Yeah, I got that interview, y'all. She's amazing. I found out that she watches my podcast. She quoted like a bunch of episodes. That was super cool. Super cool. But Cynthia Lummis, she famously bought 3 Bitcoin back in like 2013 or 14, worth 150 grand. Well, Senate, they just disclosed her new thingy majingies. You know, when the SEC makes you say what you bought when you're a senator. If you're Nancy Pelosi, it's usually like a couple $100 million worth of things you probably shouldn't have had insider knowledge about. Oh, but she bought about between $50,000 and $100,000 more worth of Bitcoin in August. She's way up. She's way up. She's killing it. She's killing it. So, but importantly, Lummis, who is a big cryptocurrency advocate, she's a big cryptocurrency advocate. She said she slammed stablecoins during a speech on the Senate floor last week, saying they must be 100% backed by cash and they should be audited regularly, expressing her concerns that cryptos pegged one-to-one to other sovereign fiat currencies lack transparency. I think that the truth lies somewhere here in the middle, but I actually at this point think I tend to agree that if a stablecoin is going to be stable and issued, certainly in the United States, it should just be backed one for one. Like they should not necessarily be investing your money or deciding what to do with it. You know, they should probably just be backed one for one, put it in a regulated bank, and we won't have these questions. That's what USDC actually had claimed to do. And then Coinbase removed that language a few months ago, saying USDC was almost backed. But USDC is regulated and their funds are in a New York State regulated banks. And so it's very close. So listen, if you're worried about Tether FUD, maybe you just switch some of your money into USDC. Something that you're a bit more confident in. I don't really see that being a big deal if that's what you want to do. But I do think that this, I even said before her conversation, I had a conversation 2 days ago with a very good friend of mine I went to college with, who's a very big fintech and crypto lawyer. And he seemed to think that was the direction things were going to when we discussed it. He thinks that stablecoins will not be deemed securities because that, my friends, is fully insane. Fully insane. Because you don't buy a stable coin with the belief that you're going to make a profit by buying it. That's part of the investment contract definition of the Howey test that makes something a security. I mean, a stable coin is just not a security, but I do believe that they will be highly regulated as to how they're backed. Basically, stable coin issuers, I believe, will be treated like banks and will have to, you know, be registered and regulated in the same manner. That's what I think. That's what I think. I don't know, but that's what he's saying. And guess what? Even this epic douchebag of monumental proportions, Steve Mnuchin, well, yeah, he warns of inflation risk, 3.5% treasury yields. Yeah, we get it, inflation. But he also had something to say about stablecoins. Mnuchin, 58, a banker, private equity investor, and movie producer before being tapped as treasury secretary. All things that qualify you to be a treasury secretary under President Trump. Recently returned to investing, raised about $2.5 billion. Where did the guy who was just the secretary of the treasury secretary, where did he raise all this money from? I mean, he's very rich, but like, oh, I don't know, like sovereign wealth funds, including Saudi Arabia's public investment fund. I wonder how he got access to those people to invest in him, because government is a revolving door of guys from Wall Street and Goldman, like Mnuchin, who come in, do their little stint in the government, make all the connections, and then go get a whole bunch of Saudi Arabian money to invest in their private equity fund. Oh, God. Like literally oh, yeah, this one's good one. I'm seeing your comment. Mnuchin bag. More like Steve Mnuchin. You guys get it. This guy called him a munchkin. Mnuchin bag. Yeah, he's a Mnuchin bag. He's a Mnuchin bag. You guys are funnier than me. That's what I love about this community is you guys actually are killing it in the comments. I missed most of it. There you go. He also commented on the risks from stablecoins, saying they should be regulated with the underlying funds put into banks with immediate liquidity. Same exact thing as Lummis is saying. And this is, whether you agree with it or not, this is what's going to happen. That's what I think. This is going to happen. This Mnuchin bag, this Munchkin Mnuchin bag is going to continue going and raising billions of dollars from people that he met while he was the Treasury Secretary. Why? Because I know people at the government, bro. We go do what we want. That's how this works. You go work on Wall Street, go work in the government for like 2, 3, 4 years, you know, kind of sacrifice a little bit. And then the floodgates open and everyone sends you money because you're the guy that knows the guy. The guy who knows the guy. That's what's happening here. Anywho, SEC approves ETF for Bitcoin Revolution companies. Portfolio includes Tesla and Twitter. The new ETF from Volt Equity will give investors exposure to a range of companies like MicroStrategy and Square that hold crypto. We've seen this before. This was reported on some site. I slammed them on Twitter. I'm sorry. They're called like Forecast or something, but it's Forkast. Like it's like forecast, but it's like a fork that you eat your steak with, but also like a hard fork. It's cute. Literally, their headline was like SEC approves Bitcoin futures ETF. What? That did not happen. I want to be clear. If you read that, that shit's dumb. It's not true. It did not happen. What happened is they created an ETF with like 30 companies that all have some relationship with Bitcoin. We've seen that before. This one goes a little deeper. This is a great thing. These are the next steps, but it is not a Bitcoin futures ETF. You're investing in 30 companies that like Bitcoin. They have it on their balance sheet, their miners, their exchanges, whatever it is, they're interested in the space. Do not be confused. This was not the approval of a Bitcoin futures ETF. Don't believe what you read. Neo brokerage firm public.com rolls out crypto trading tools. The $1.2 billion Neo broker is the latest in a string of fintech firms to branch out into crypto. It will support 10 cryptos at launch, including the meme-based token Dogecoin. Like there's 10 of them and you just got to mention Doge. You have to in the article, right? You have to. Guys, there's nothing huge here, but this, much like the Robinhoods and all these other companies of the world that were focused primarily on stonks and other legacy assets, they're all moving into crypto. They have no choice. They're coming. Here's another one. Now, let's talk about Axie Infinity. Axie Infinity co-founder, really hard to begin playing Axie right now. In other news, water is wet. And before you guys jump in, I am aware that water is not wet. Water is actually a substance that makes other things wet. And you nerds are going to jump out and point to me, water's not wet, bro. Did you even like take physics and chemistry and like do you do science? Water is wet is a expression. I don't need the factual analysis of whether water is in fact wet, because every time I write it on Twitter, people come in and go, that's actually factually incorrect, buddy, because water is not wet. It just makes other things wet. Shut up. It's like saying in other news, the sky is blue. No, it's not, bro. It's like, that's just your perception based on the molecules and the unicorn dust that's falling from the sky. And shut up. Anyways, Axie Infinity co-founder, really hard to begin playing Axie right now. There's about 2 million people. Yeah, see, now you guys are going, right? Wait, it's not really wet? Yeah, apparently not. Wait, really? I thought water was wet. And you can add water to water and make it wet. That's a great point. Pour water into some water, and then you'll make the water wet, and you can all shut up with your superior egotistical water is not, in fact, wet crap. Axie Infinity, about 2 million players right now. 1 million of them or so apparently are not native to crypto. And shockingly, it's really hard for them to understand how to play this game, right? You'll get the wallet, buy the thing, do the stuff. And there's a lot that you have to do to understand, right? We could go deeply into the article of why that's the case. But the point being here is that it's really early, right? In everything crypto, but especially in crypto gaming. So this is bullish to me. Like Axie Infinity's done like $2 billion in volume, and it's really hard to use. And it's kind of a basic game. It's not like you're out there like doing Fortnite things and doing like the dances and whatever I don't know, whatever the dances you kids do, the flossing, right? We floss. I can floss pretty good, actually. It's just really hard when you're sitting and there's a mic in front of you, because then you floss into the mic and the mic makes noises. But yeah, it's really early. The games aren't great, and they're still attracting tons and tons of traffic. I can't remember. I was talking to someone a day or two ago and said that they had an assistant in the Philippines who has nothing to do with crypto, and then like looked on their person's like social media profile, and the person's like whole social media profile was about Axie Infinity. It's like a 40-year-old Filipino woman. And they reach out. They were like, you know about Axie Infinity? Like, what's up? They're like, yeah, we can make money doing it. We live in the Philippines. If there's something we can do digitally to actively make money on the side, we're going to do it. And they're adopting it, and they're playing Axie Infinity and finding a way. That's what the future is going to look like. But yeah, it's really hard right now, guys. We're really, really early. Really early. Notorious art forger Wolfgang Beltracchi enters the NFT world. This is cool because this dude was forging art before for like decades, like masterpieces. There's a book about a similar guy, John Drew or something, called Provenance, that I recommend you all read. The book is called Provenance. If you don't know what a provenance is, it's basically the proof that something is authentic. It's what NFTs actually fix. When you're like, NFTs fix this, they fix provenance. If you have an ancient painting, you have like this paper trail of, you know, ownership and receipts and any sort of artifact that can be tied to the piece of art to prove that it's real. But surprise, surprise, those things often are faked. Someone like, you know, goes and gets like papyrus from Egypt and they like burn the edges and they whatever, and they make that, use some old ass ink, and they make that shit look authentic. It's how they do it. It's how they do it. So Wolfgang over here went to jail for that. You should read that book. It's a great book. It's nonfiction, but reads like fiction. It's really good. Provenance. But he's making recreations, 4,608 NFTs of Salvatore, a new product dubbed the Greats, but of Salvatore Mundi, the world's most expensive painting and one of the most controversial ones. It's the most expensive that was sold. That is factually incorrect. I think the Mona Lisa is worth well more than Salvatore Mundi. But yeah, that's the painting. And he's doing like some wild shit to him. You know, putting like checkerboards behind him and kind of making him into Dali vibes and doing this fresh shit. That this one looks like John Lennon actually in the back. Look at John Lennon just back there. He's like, imagine there's no forgeries. That's John Lennon back there, actually. But pretty cool. So now, you know, in the NFT space, look, he's making them look, that one looks like it's a Van Gogh. That's how you say Van Gogh if you're Dutch. You say Van Gogh. Van Gogh. Van Gogh. Look at it. Here's some of them, right? So pretty sweet. Dude's going to paint a gajillion of these. He's going to sell them and make a bazillion dollars because NFTs are hot right now. Andrew Yang expresses support for Bitcoin after launching new party. I don't know if you guys heard about this, but Andrew Yang, okay, so listen, I'm going to be honest. Andrew Yang was hot. Like, he was hot. He was up there on the presidential stage, even though they were like, frankly, they were like, put the Asian guy who's not going to win over in the corner, but he made it up to the stage. He made it up to the stage and he was over there in the corner. He was a presidential candidate. It was awesome. And he was talking about tech and artificial intelligence going to come take our jobs. You know, probably played some of those South Park episodes where all the American dudes are like, they took our jobs. Right? You guys have seen those. And Andrew Yang, you know, and then he went to run for mayor of New York and he couldn't even win that. So he kind of, I don't know, man. I don't know if he's going to be like the guy to like be the guy, but he's starting a third political party, which I think we all know, the Forward Party. And we know that he loves crypto. And so Jeff Booth actually hit him up. Yang put out this video. I'm not going to make you suffer through it. It's obvious. Political system's broken. We're going to do things that aren't broken. We're going to be less broken. But after we win, we'd probably honestly become broken because then we'd be politicians and politicians are all broken. But Jeff Booth, who we all love, I've had on the podcast twice. Real change can only come if the root of the problem, manipulation of money, is fixed. More misinformation in money equals more information everywhere. What say you, Andrew Yang? Are you going to make advancing Bitcoin in the free market a primary part of your campaign? Andrew Yang said, big proponent of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies generally, want to allow fiat prices to go down as they should. Natural deflation, we've talked about this. That's the beautiful state of the world, if not for money printing. Problem is you got to get there, and that requires major depression and death. More efficient instead of assuming the inflation model. Learned a lot from you, Jeff. First of all, what a compliment to Jeff Booth. What a compliment to Jeff Booth. And then he went on to say, I don't know, it's here somewhere, but he basically said that UBI did not have to come universal basic income in the form of fiat money, saying basically he would just send everyone crypto. I don't know about that. We'll see. Interestingly, though, here we do have a potential third political party that would be supportive of Bitcoin. So if you can hold your nose and avoid paying attention to anything else that these politicians have to say, maybe you can be a one-issue voter. Real quick, I want to go through the charts that we shared yesterday and see where they're at because people were asking. FTM Bitcoin, is pushing through, has two potential bearish SFPs, but currently pushing through that resistance. It will be interesting. If this closes above here, FTM Bitcoin, not only on the USDT pair, but on the Bitcoin pair, will be into price discovery. Here's the FTM USDT pair. Price was down here yesterday, about $1.80 at the stream. Well, it did exactly what we were looking for, and that's why I want to show this to you. This is one of the trade setups you're looking for. Break of all-time high, retest as support, moon. Look at the retest as support. Guys, price was here. It was not here. We've seen these over and over again. I keep showing them to you. It comes back and retests to the penny, right at $1.94. See that right there? Do I need to zoom it? Look at it. No matter how far I zoom. Oh, it missed. It missed, guys. It missed by a fraction of a penny. It was 1.947 apparently. You get the idea. That's what we've been looking for. Speaking of FTM, guys, I got the nicest message today. I never share these. Because I don't want people to think this. This guy messaged me and said, hey, Scott, first ever 1000X, thanks to you. FTM at 2.002 from your newsletter, $200 into $200,000. Profit taken once again, hero. Absolutely epic. To be clear, yes, last year I was sharing FTM at a fraction of a penny, but they were small setups and trades, and I never believed it would pull 1000X. I exited them for 50% profit and 25% profit more. But the point that I want you to see from this, is that if you buy something and you have diamond hands and you hold, you can turn $200 into $200,000 in the crypto market. I'm not going to be the one to tell you what coin did it. I'm not going to be the one to tell you. Sorry, I was until I got distracted. Your mom texted, Scott is on fire this morning. My mom and my wife apparently watching the stream. Sorry, that the train of thought thing for me can be problematic. But I'm not telling you I can tell you what coins get 1000X. I'm just telling you that if you get in early on something that's really low and actually have patience and just don't even bother and put it to the side, this can happen. This can very much happen in the crypto market, guys. So look, and for anyone who was questioning it, I pulled it up. These were all the trades. Like you can see last September, June, May, I was sharing FTM. These are all my charts that were privately shared in the newsletter. And this is literally back when it was like, I don't know, 46 sats. 46 sats. It's now at 4,210 sats. Absolutely insane. Like I said, I didn't hold through that, but there clearly are people who did. Matic was another one. Matic, listen, we were worried about the retest here. We want to see this close above this line, but if it closes above this line, this looks like a clean reversal and bounce on the Bitcoin pair. So Bitcoin pairs are clearly bouncing. But on the USDT pair, we shared this bull flag. Boom. Boom goes the dynamite. You're up, right? Doing exactly what we talked about. The target of that is up here. I think it's going higher to here. Ocean on the Bitcoin pair at resistance, but trying to push through. Actually, technically, has broken resistance, but needs to close here, I would say, above the 50 MA. So you go into the Ocean USDT pair. Here's the breakout I was talking about yesterday. Target up here. Let's see what Solana does. These are the 4 trades that were in the newsletter. Solana also trying to push through this resistance. Guys, you need to wait, because if this wicks down and gets closed here, this could be rejected. But if this closes above, these should all be heading back up. And Solana on the USDT pair, exactly. Tested support as we talked about and heading back up. Pretty good day for trades. Pretty good day for trades there. Pretty good day for trades. Coming over here, checking out your comments. Checking them out. You guys, is Matic Polygon? Yes, Matic is Polygon. It used to be Matic, became Polygon. Now they have branding issues. But yes, great. And speaking of that, that is a trade that newsletter subscribers have been in from sub 10 cents. And there was with the kind of targets where we're at in mind. I'm up 79,000 million % on Matic and still holding. Good morning, Mrs. Melkers. Happy Friday. I like that. Plural. Mrs. Melkers. There's 2 of them. Again, the best investing strategy is to just die. For your family, maybe. But no ideas, Mrs. Melkers. No bright ideas. But it is true. Mark Yusko said this to me, and I brought this up to Yuri and Timmer from Fidelity in the conversation that just came out on Tuesday. Mark Yusko said to me, do you know what the best performing accounts at Fidelity ones are? I said, no. He said, the ones where the people died and nobody touched it and they forgot about it. All you have to do to make money is die, guys, because then you won't make any bad decisions because you're dead. Not entirely true, but maybe our next thought will be trade like you're dead. That's going to be probably the invest like you're dead. That'll probably be the title of my next newsletter. Invest like you're dead. Invest like you're dead. And, hey, Elon, send this guy his Tesla. That's right. Everybody gets a car. It's like Oprah out here. You're reading these articles like Tesla record deliveries in Q3. Tesla. And it's all Ys and 3s, right? We ordered an X, and now they're like sending out plaid S's too to all the richy fancy people. But over here, anyone who orders an X, it's like Oprah. You get a car, you get a car, you get a car, you get a car, you get a, oh, look under your seat, guys. There's a sticker. And you look under your seat and you pull it out. It's like, you also get a Tesla. Not me. Not me. No Teslas for me. I'm not afraid of death. I just don't want to be there when it happens. I think that's fair. I'm not afraid of death because I know that I'll be super rich after I die because I'll be such a good inventor. That's DJX, Scott. I'm not DJX. You know DJX. DJX is a person. Yeah, no Tesla for you. It's like Seinfeld out here. No soup for you. No Model X for you. I just want to be environmentally conscious and drive my kids to school with no guilt. Is that so bad? Is that so bad? I guess I could get like a Chevy Volt or something and do that. It's not cool. So yeah, I want the Tesla. I want the Tesla. Scott is on fire today, says Victoria K. Thanks. You only make money when you die if you leave your family your wallet keys, bro. So true. True. Christian, see, that's good advice. You just die on the inside. If you just die on the inside, then you're probably going to be a really good investor. And listen, if there's one thing crypto can do to you, if you've been here long enough, it can definitely kill you a little bit on the inside. If you were here in 2018 and 19, you definitely died at least a little bit. Yeah, but base one. Anyways, oh, the person who said give this guy his Tesla was DJX. That's true. DJX. I thought we got Model X. We got DJX. He should change his name to DJ Model X. Right. I have a feeling Scott has already died on the inside. Do I seem sword and scale? I'm alive. My veins literally pump with life and energy at all times. How dare you, sword and scale? No, we're good. We're good. Anyways, guys, I think that's enough. Okay, so what do I need to tell you? Today is a day where I don't just do this once. I do this twice, and I've gone way over time. And I'm going to play golf, so I need to go do that. Today at 1:30 p.m. Eastern daily time is bullish on Bitcoin with very special guest, Big Cheds. Fan favorite, Big Cheds. You guys don't want to miss that. We're going to talk Bitcoin and other things. I'll try to put him on the spot and make it super awkward for him. But guys, until then, thank you for listening. I got to go. I got to go swing them sticks. Peace.
That's dope.